shows speed slightly smooth wire has a speed of 200 centimeters per second. What will be the speed C? Right, so that's the first part of the question. So let's break it down. So clearly this is we're going to use the conservation of energy. 2 points in question. Size of this. Let's analyze the speed. Remember, we need to find the speed at point B as well as the speed at point C. So let's start with. So the conservation of energy will be that at point A, we have the kinetic energy of, this is for part A, part 1, part A, of mv squared plus mgh. Now this is for point A. The other side we have for point B. B, same thing, of mv squared plus mh. So that this makes sense, let me do this. This here. So what we're saying is this. Saying this represents the kinetic energy at A plus the potential energy A. Now this is equals to kinetic energy B plus the potential energy at. So kinetic energy at A, we're told to say has a speed of 200 centimeters per second at A. So we have the speed at point. Since we've not been given a mass, we can divide throughout by mass. Mass can cancel out. So if mass cancels out by dividing throughout by m, let's remain with half squared plus h is equals to n b squared plus g. Okay. So this here represents the velocity at A. This here represents the velocity at B. It's like the height, same thing. Height at A. This is the height. So what is the speed of at A? Speed at A is 200 centimeters per second. Divide this by 100. This gives us 2 meters per second. So half multiplied by 2 meters per second squared plus g, acceleration due to gravity, let's use 10, multiplied by height at A. Now what is the height at A? So the height at A has been given to us as 80 centimeters, which is in meters 0. This is equals to velocity at B is what we're. Now this part here cancels out because the height at B is 0. It's at the very bottom. So 0. So this is what will remain. Now half times 4 is 2. 2 plus 10 times 0.8 is 8. This is equals to half squared. So we'll get a 10 is equals to half squared. Do the half by multiplying by 2 gives us 20 is equals to square. So the square root of 20 simply 4.47. So the velocity at point here, say at B, is 4.47 second. Right, so that's the first part. Let's go to the second part. And now we go to part B says, what is the speed at point C? So we'll do the same thing. Say, kinetic energy. Now do not compare A and C. It will be much better to just compare C. So kinetic energy plus potential energy E is equals to kinetic energy C plus potential energy C. So what is the kinetic energy? So this is half mass plus potential energy at B, there's no cause height there is 0. So we can say MH plus height at 0. So let's just put 0. Kinetic energy at C, M E at C squared plus potential energy at C is M G height at C. Let's go ahead and substitute. So for substituting, of course, mass can cancel out. If you divide the word by mass, mass disappears. So we have half E at E squared. This is equals to half C plus G is half C. So half multiplied by 4.7 squared. This is equals to, looking for the velocity, C, 10 times, what is the height at C? The height at C is given as 50 centimeters. This is just 5. Sorry, is 0.5. Now remember, 4.47 squared was 20, so this is half times 20. 20, so half BC squared plus 10 times 0.5 is 5. Right hand side, 10 is 5. But the 5 goes to the other side. This is equals to half C squared. Do the 2, so 10 minus 5. 5 of course, this is equals to half C squared. Then multiply through by 2, so this means that BC squared is equals to 10. Now we need to find the square root of 10. So this implies that velocity at C 2.2 per second. Right, so there we have it. So now we have the velocity at C. Velocity at C is 2 second. Then let's just answer the second part of the question. It says, suppose the bead has a mass of 15 grams and a speed of 2 meters per second at point A, and it stops as it reaches point C. The length of the wire AC is 250 centimeters. How large an average friction force oppose the motion of the bead? Right. So here's what we know. New question. This question. We know that the speed at A. So let me just write. So the velocity A is 2 meters per second. Okay. So we have the distance from C. It's 250 centimeters. So that distance is simply 0.5 meters. I'm giving the mass as 15 grams, so divided by 1,000. So mass is 0.05 grams. Okay. What else do we have? Now remember, it stops point C. This means that the velocity C, since it stops, 0. That's basically the information that we have. So we're going to need to find total mechanical force to friction. First, we need to find force in friction potential. So we're going to say loss in potential. Now the loss in potential energy is half mgh. Sorry, mgh. Now this h looks at difference between two heights. Difference between two heights, and this difference in two heights. So let me just say like this, change height. So this will be as m. Difference in the two heights. We know that A is likely at C. So I'm going to say height at A is height at C. So let's find the loss in potential. Mass will be 0.05. Let's change it to gravity. Let's use 10. And the difference difference in height. That's 80 centimeters minus 50 centimeters gives us 80 centimeters. In meters, that's 3. So 0.015 times 3 gives us loss in potential energy, which is 0.04 joules. So let's just write it here as the loss in potential energy. 0.05. So after finding the loss in potential energy, we also need to find initial kinetic energy. Now the initial kinetic energy is the kinetic energy of our object at point A. That's the initial. So initial K is half times velocity at A. So half, what is the mass? 0.015. Velocity at A, we said, is 2 meters per second. So obviously 2 is supposed to be squared. So if you multiply everything, we're going to get to 0.03. So kinetic energy. So half mv squared is just 0.03 joules. Now to find total mechanical loss to friction, because remember we're talking about the loss in potential energy, was only the initial kinetic energy of the object. So total mechanical energy lost by friction, the sum of these two values. This means that the total work done by friction is equals to the sum of these two, like I said. So we're going to say 0.3. So that's 0.3. This gives us 0.075. 0.75 joules. Now remember, for friction force, work done by friction and by work is equals to force distance. In this case, we're saying that the work done by friction is equals to friction force distance. So replace this work done by friction with friction distance. This is equals to 0.75. We have the distance. Distance is 2.5. So friction force is to 0.075. Distance D. This distance is 2.5. So let's see what we get. 5. This gives us 0.0. So the friction force is simply